How's it going tonight, everyone? This is Sage Hero. Hope you're all doing well. Tonight we got a race between greatjhon and ColonelFatso in Mega Man 3 Any for you. So this is going to be a fun one. This is going to be very interesting because we've got a good competitor and a really great competitor in ColonelFatso. So we're going to see basically if greatjhon can pull off the upset or not. You see him practicing easy double there. Hope everyone's doing well. Hope you're having a good night. This is going to be in the Mega Man 3 tournament. Let me pull up the rankings right here. But I believe Fatso is the first, or no, he's the second seed. And so greatjhon is aiming for the upset here. This is the first match of the second round winners bracket. So this will be really interesting to see. Basically, if greatjhon can force it to 3 or not. If I'm greatjhon, what I want to do here is basically go all out, because it's going to be difficult to beat ColonelFatso if I'm playing conservative. And with ColonelFatso, you just want to avoid the big mistake. You know, you don't want to let him, take a death or something, and now all of a sudden it's a much tighter race than it needs to be. So what do we got here? ColonelFatso's best time is a 33:42, and that was back in 2019. That was actually a world record at the time. So previous world record holder. And greatjhon's time is a 38:44. So a few minutes behind, but that was all the way back in 2017. He may have substantially improved or practiced a lot since then. So possibility of him making a big improvement tonight. We'll have to see. You can see him getting the B's on the other screen. You see if the race time room is open. Hey, for anyone just joining us tonight, this is Sage Hero, and thanks. We got another match between ColonelFatso and greatjhon. I almost got their names backwards, in Mega Man 3 Any. And I think we're going to be starting in just a few seconds here. Is that race time room open yet? Again, this is going to be the first game in the second round winners bracket. greatjhon having won his first match. And we've got, don't see the race time room yet. But basically, greatjhon is going to be aiming for the upset here. He's going up against the previous world record holder. It's not going to be an easy match for him. He has to really go all out and have everything go his way. And he needs ColonelFatso to make a mistake. But it's not out of reach. It's not unthinkable that he pulls off an upset. Really, anything can happen in this game. I mean, it's so unforgiving. Anything can go... all you need is a run to go south. You get a couple deaths. All of a sudden, you've got like a game over or something. And it can really go south real quick. You can see him practicing the zip there, getting set up. Let me see if they are ready. All right, so we got our race time room ready. Sorry for the delay. And I think we're joining up, and we're going to start soon here. So again, greatjhon, his PB is a few minutes behind ColonelFatso's. Now, greatjhon's PB is also from 2017. There's a chance he's updated his PB pretty significantly since then. And that's kind of what you're looking for, is can he pull off like a great time, like a PB time or close to a PB time? And he needs something to go wrong for ColonelFatso. Fatso is a very stiff competitor. All right, we got everyone in our race room here. You can see what they're practicing right now. greatjhon's really putting in time in Gemini. That's going to be a big stage to look for as far as mistakes. Fatso is doing some, I believe we're going to see these runners doing different routes. Fatso here using magnet strats in Snake. A little bit of banter. Okay. All right, race game is starting any second now. Like they're getting their last practice in here. Getting to the title screen. Oh, that's right. greatjhon runs on Mega Man 3. So there are some small differences between Rockman 3 and Mega Man 3 in this game. So I'll try and point as many of them as I know out. I'm a Rockman 3 runner myself, so I'm more familiar with the Japanese version of the game. But I'll point them out. The biggest difference is going to be on the last boss. The way they finish the last boss is going to be different. That's why the title screen is so much better. Look at Mega Man. Look at Mega Man. Look at the Mega Man. I mean, he's the scorekeeper here. He's the icon, and we're off. All right, so ColonelFatso, you're going to see is going to top first. And that is the most aggressive strat. greatjhon is doing magnet first, and that is actually not that much slower strat. When played well, it's only a few seconds slower. It is a lot safer, and there's a lot. Just the magnet weapon is very good, and so there's a lot of safer strats you can do with magnet. Plus, you get rush some of the rush weapons early to make backup strats in some of these rooms. So this game, talking about movement in this game, this is the first game with the slide. It does not have a charge buster if you're not that familiar with the Mega Man series. So you're going to have to mash out a lot of enemies. You can see greatjhon fighting this mysterious, definitely not Proto Man kind of enemy. He has to mash them out. A little bit of trouble there, taking some hits on the ends of the spring guys. And greatjhon pulling for an upset here, so he really needs to go all out, and we're going to see what Fatso can do. Fatso mashing those cats. That is probably the biggest thing about top first. That and Shadow Man that you'll see next. But you really have to have a very good mash in order to make top first faster. If you can't mash those cats down in 3 jumps, it's just not worth doing it. greatjhon traversing the Yoku blocks. This is one of the reasons why magnet first isn't the fastest route, because you have to sit here and wait for these blocks. And that's a significant amount. The fact that it's even close when you have to wait for these Yoku blocks, where ColonelFatso is going to be able to just ride rush jet over them. Here we go with Fatso. Okay, he chose to wait. No shade there. It is a very bad death if you die at the very end of top man. You go all the way back to the start of the stage. You can make that jump, but it's very, very tight. And it's probably not worth the risk unless you really need that second to beat your opponent. Which, again, Fatso's a guy coming in, trying not to make a big mistake here. If Fatso can avoid the big mistake, avoid the deaths, then he can probably win this. greatjhon, all right, doing a good job. Getting a little bit of bad RNG. Oh no, that's bad. So with Magnet Man, you want to get 3 hits in per cycle. Oh, that's bad. Okay, so off to a bad start, but not over yet. With Magnet Man, you want to try and get 3 hits in per cycle, and you want to bash into him. If he does that force field thing, you got to bash into him in order to make him stop, so you can just do damage, because he sits there for a long time otherwise. And ideally, I think you can only get 2 hits in per cycle if he does a shield. You can get 3 if he does a jump. Fatso going for his Proto Man fight here in Shadow Man. This is another very scary kind of guy. He makes that look so good. He got him all the way on the right wall. This is one of the coolest rooms in the game, just with all the movement and shooting across. Yeah, sub 2 minute top is really impressive. I mean, I know it could have been better. Like, he could have gone for the jump. Still very impressive. And so usually you would use magnet here, but Fatso doesn't have magnet, so he's going to have to use top to beat the parachute enemies are called parachutes, by the way. And he's going to have to try and, yeah, you can see how scary those jumps are. The problem is when you use magnet, it kind of pushes you away from the opponent you just hit. So you kind of need to hit them in a weird way that continues you pushing to the right to make those in one jump. Fortunately, he gets across. That is one of the scarier parts of the game if you're going top first. And now this guy goes down pretty quick. A lot of people, ooh, okay. You do have to be very careful how to use top. You can see if you push top into a boss's iframes, it just drains your weapon energy real quick. He almost ran out. He's lucky he did not. greatjhon using rush coil here, navigating through Hardman. You're going to see him do the Met Dozers here, switching back to Buster. These things are just the hitbox of them are very tricky. It's very easy for bullets to bounce off when it looks like they should hit. And they do a lot of damage, so you really don't want to hit them. Gemini Man is another extremely scary stage. This is another, like, after you get through Gemini, you can kind of breathe easier for a little bit. A little bit slow there. Didn't slide over that fire bullet accurately. He doesn't have Magnet again, so he's going to have to do this entire screen with Buster only. And that is a bit tricky. It's a lot easier when you have Magnet. And you can kind of just let the magnets clear out everything in front of you. Nice slide here to skip the animation. There's supposed to be a nice little animation where Proto-Man breaks it open for you. A bonus of that, he's going to go for the zip here. I don't know if that's going to do it. Oh, that did it. Okay. greatjhon with a pretty good Hardman kill. And Fatso's going to come through here. And he's going to do a lot of single block slides. Now, something scary about this is in this game, if you slide, you cannot jump for 8 frames. So he has to make sure that he's not going to fall off that block in 8 frames. You need to slide all the way from the left side of the block to make sure he has enough time to jump. You can see how scary this is. Like, if you fall, there's no ground there. That's it. All right, and he makes it through. He makes it through. You can feel how silent it is, too, just with the no music. The no music thing is actually really important. Oh, he got hit by that. He's very low health. He's going to have to be careful against Gemini Man here. This could easily be a mistake. Hopefully, greatjhon already took one, so he can get back to multiple time. Ooh. 1 health. So, should have it from here. Once he's faced with Gemini, be free. Okay. A little bit scary there for ColonelFatso to get through it this fine. And greatjhon using Magnet here. Sorry, I hit my volume for a second. Sorry, greatjhon using Magnet here to get through these screens. And you can see he's able to clear these out a lot faster. Like the cats, he's able to clear them out basically as soon as they spawn, which makes it just a lot easier for him to clear through this stage a lot faster. That's going into Needle here. And now it's basically more or less like weakness order from here. Mega Man 3 has a weird like dual weakness kind of thing. So there's sort of 2 weakness routes. There's like a loop of 5 and then a loop of 3. Most later games actually didn't do that. It's just a straight weakness route. The Gemini laser is really strong as a weapon. It kills most enemies in 1 or 2 hits. You do have to be careful because if you bounce it, that's called an Adua, named after a speedrunner who had that issue. If you miss with the Gemini laser, it causes a lot of lag. As you've noticed, this game has a lot of lag. And you're kind of stuck there because you can't menu, you can't shoot another one, you can't do anything else. By the way, greatjhon finishing off top, man. You can't do anything else. You're just waiting for the laser to go away so you can shoot another one. And it takes a long time for that laser to go away. And it also causes a lot of lag. You can see, though, 2 Gemini lasers are enough to kill those enemies. Damage boost here. One's a Needle Man, and again, just the name of the game is going to be Don't Miss. Don't shoot if you're not sure it's going to hit, because you will really regret it the whole time you're sitting watching that laser bounce around. Very nice kill in the center. That's good. The closer you kill the boss to the center, the less distance you have to walk to get the weapon at the end. So you always want to kill near the center. This is another game, actually, a little movement thing. You'll notice that the slides, you can slide very far off the ledge. Like, as long as there's 1 pixel of Mega Man still left on the ground, you can slide that far off the ledge. With that, it's actually better to do little jumps off most ledges. So if you'll notice little things, like if someone is doing these little jumps off ledges so they can get to the ground at the bottom faster. That's like high-level movement. Now, Fatso going through Magnet Man, but he has the benefit of additional weapons. So he doesn't need to worry so much about, waiting for Yoku blocks and stuff. He's going to be able to tear through the stage a lot faster than greatjhon was. Really nice proto fight. In this game, well, it depends on what version of the game you're playing. He's either Breakman or Blue. I don't think he was Proto Man until Mega Man 5. greatjhon coming up on top. Again, the name of the game is just get 4 hits in without running out of ammo. You just want to make sure you're not hitting them when you're both in iframes. That's when it's really bad. And then Fatso just cruising over top the Yoku block. Jump off here because it's actually faster to leave the gap behind so you can get some slides in. Slide time is very important in this game. We'll jump there. His climbing is slow, jumping is faster. And then we're going to use Shadow on Magnet here. He beats him in, I think, 4 hits. Tried to get a neat little strat where you mash down that guy, but unfortunately got hit by the missile. A very nice finish there. Finished in the middle, killing him with the Shadow Star on the way back. Kind of has like a boomerang-like action. greatjhon you're going to see here. He's going to start using Magnet to clear out these screens. Right about here, probably switch. No, actually, he doesn't want to. Okay. Some older runners who may remember there used to be a Gemini first route that was the world record route. They may prefer not to switch the Magnet there, even if they have it. Simply because they're used to doing without it. Trying for the zip. Looks like he has it. Let's get set up. Yep. Interesting using Magnet. So Fatso's going to go for a snake zip here. That's very tricky. Most runners you'll see use, it is faster to use Magnet here and do the snake zip. To just zip through that mini boss. You never want to fight that mini boss. Fighting that mini boss is extremely slow. So most runners use Rush Jet to actually go over the head of the snake mini boss. greatjhon, by the way, it's entirely reasonable to grab that backup health. This is a very scary stage. And it's not one you want to die in. Does not make the call, though. He's going to use the Shadow Blade on the block. So, easy beginner route here to avoid these blocks entirely is to break out Rush Marine and use Rush Marine here, and he can kind of jump out midway through, right about where that weapon energy was. It is still very scary. You can see he had to jump off that block with seconds left before the before that missile exploded, and you can easily get knocked off. Now switching to Rush Jet here for Fatso. Now, a lot of times when people use Rush Jet, you'll see them ride to the top and jump off the top. It does 2 things. First off, it removes Mega Man from the screen, so it actually reduces lag. And second, it actually conserves Rush Jet energy. You can see he's barely using any energy, even though he rode Rush Jet for that entire screen. Jumping up the top will allow him to do that. greatjhon, a little bit scary at the end there, but managed to get the job done against Gemini. And Needle made quick work to Snake Man here. And just the trick is making sure... Oh, he unfortunately missed some shots, but... Yeah, just the trick is to make sure that you finish him in the middle. It's even more important in these because Snake Man has to jump up. And he's very slow about it if you make him jump up automatically. So it's much better if you finish in the middle. Yeah, I'm sure we're going to see plenty of runners making the call in Dr. Gemini. It's not that unreasonable if you're just going to be walking. It's not that unreasonable because you can kill a lot of stuff down there to reduce lag. And if you're not going to be sliding on the blocks anyways, it's not that much slower. greatjhon having the benefit of Magnet in Needleman here. Whereas Fatso is taking advantage of having Shadow here in Hardman. Very neat to see a speed game with this many viable strategies. And I mean, while really if you're doing world record attempts, you want to do top first. I mean, it's not unthinkable to get a magnet first world record. It's not like it's impossible. It's just you'd be making things harder for yourself. Oh, tried to mash down the monkey, didn't get it. Got chased all the way to the end. greatjhon, a little bit low on health. You might wait for this guy, this robot here. Yeah, that guy does a lot of damage, and you don't want to have to be thinking about health during Needleman. You really want to think about killing the boss as fast as possible. You can see Fatso there having trouble. I talked about the Metos are just being a pain in the butt. Shadow Blade here. Removing those bees. You really want to never let the bees hatch. Those big bees drop a little hive that creates a lot of little bees, and it is just so painful if the not only do they get in the way, but they cause so much lag. Taking on Magnet here. I'm curious to see if he's going to do a one cycle. I know you do have to be careful. There is a problem here. I don't want to say it. Okay, yeah, he's not going to go for it. Or maybe because he saw the one missed, he just like, no. And that's entirely reasonable. greatjhon making it through Snake here. One of the neat things about this game is like how much it is routed out in advance. So a lot of times you're shooting bullets to kill things like that aren't even on the screen yet. That just this lemon, what we call like a small bullet. This lemon will hit hidden enemy as it spawns, like right before it leaves the screen. Carrying Spark for Fatso. Spark is an interesting stage. There's a lot of it I feel like is kind of like chill. You're not that stressed about it. It's mostly movement, making sure you save time. But there are a couple parts, mainly these with the rising blocks, that are a little bit scary to optimize. And yeah, he jumps through those for slide time, and that is faster. It does take more damage based on your health. Using magnet to clear the way here. You do have to be careful with the magnets. Let's say you shoot two from different angles. If they happen to hit an enemy on the same frame, it only counts as one magnet hitting. And then using magnet and shadow now to remove some of these blocks. Again, lag management. A big thing in this game is lag management. And here's the last block screen. Those guys look real scary, but they don't even have hitboxes until they start forming. So it kind of just makes sense to just ignore them. You don't have to worry about their bolts flying in from the left side of the screen until they start to form. Wow, simultaneous bolts. Unfortunately, in fact, greatjhon is still a stage behind. But it really looks like, it's simultaneous. Robot time for Fatso is 1646, I think it was. And now we're going to go into the dock stages. So if you're familiar with basic Mega Man, in most other games, at this point, after doing the 8 robots, you would go into Wily's castle or some other castle in the later games. In this game, you have these 4 dock robots, which are revisits of 4 of the stages that you just did, but with different bosses. So these have a mid-boss and a final boss. And they're robots from Mega Man 2. So they're the Robot Masters from Mega Man 2. You can see Fatso using Magnet here to make it work. And this is what I was talking about. It's the same way in the first visit to Gemini. If you have Magnet, you can really just clear out all these guys before they even get a chance to do anything. It's interesting in this game, a lot of the behaviors that you want the bosses to do if you're a Mega Man 2, Rockman 2 runner, are not behaviors that you want from their Rockman 3 counterparts. It's almost like good Rockman 2 patterns are bad Rockman 3 patterns. Those tadpoles are interesting, trying to manage them. There can only be 3 on screen at a time, so you saw him release 3, so that way he can clear a path without having to kill tadpoles, without spawning more tadpoles in the way. This is Flash Band going up for Fatso. This is actually one of the scarier fights when you're first learning it. Fatso's not gonna have any problem with it, yeah. But I mean, if you let him stand on top of you, he does not let go. I mean, he is gonna be in your face for the rest of the fight. Down here with Rush Jet. One up top. Oh, switching to Shadow. Okay, so that is... Yeah, that is faster, but you can see how scary that is. He's using iframes to get slide time in on the spikes. Definitely faster. Like, slide time is important, very important for your movement time. But definitely scary, too. And using Shadow to remove some of these ladybugs. A little tight up there. Didn't grab the ladder properly, it happened. It is really hard underwater to get slides in, too, because there's not a lot of underwater sections in this game. So then suddenly you start falling slower, it can mess up your timing. Bubble Man here. Bubble Man's not too difficult. He is a lag monster, unfortunately, and Fatso got a 3-bubble pattern, which I think is not what you want to see, because they just bounce around on the screen and cause all sorts of lag. Okay, greatjhon going to Doc Spark first. And there really is, there is no specific order. So Fatso's doing the order that I like, but there is no specific order that you have to do these stages in. You don't get any weapons from them or anything. Fatso, by the way, gonna go for a music despawn. Did not get it. So he's gonna have music. So what he tried to do there is kill Mega Man against the spikes on the frame that he exits the screen. And that actually doesn't kill Mega Man, but it does stop the music. And believe it or not, the music adds a significant amount of lag in this game. You notice in the theme there? So, removing the music actually helps speed up this part a lot. Not only is Fatso going to lose time because of that, but he's going to have to deal with slightly awkward movement because all his timings are going to be off. But he gets through. That's probably the scariest part of the stage right there. Oh, don't speak too soon. Just pull parachute. Sorry, greatjhon just fought Metal Man. That's not too interesting of a fight. You really just use magnets to run him down. And he's going to be despawning some enemies on this net screen. That's going into Woodman. And really the thing is here is just don't die. Make sure you kill him in 2 cycles. It's not too hard. It's pretty inconsistent once you know what to do. Good kill there. On to the second half of the stage. greatjhon again. Probably going to use magnet to break some of these blocks. And to make sure, yeah, don't make any mistakes. And he's on to Quickman. Quickman is actually, in my opinion, probably one of the scarier Doc robots. Which, I don't know if I made it clear. That's what these things are called. Fatso actually ran out of magnet there on the parachute screen. So he had to just damage boost through the last few. That again, that's a very scary screen. Oh, he didn't get the needle glitch. greatjhon there. Oh, that hurts. Fortunately, there is... So if you die at the first boss, you do not get a favorable checkpoint. But if you die against the second boss, you do. That's getting a double hit there, by the way, against Heatman, which uses top spin. Yeah, I mean, I've taken a death many times against Doc Quick. He is so scary. He does more contact damage than he did in Mega Man 2, and he also just has a much bigger hitbox. His boomerangs only do 4, so if you can, you want to try and get damage boosted boomerangs, not against actual Doc Quick himself. I actually didn't see which one greatjhon went into there. Oh, it's Doc Gemini. Okay, so we've seen that. Fatso is in Doc Needle, so he's still about a full stage ahead. Eight damage per body shot, thank you. Yeah, so you really want to try and take damage against the boomerangs and not the body. Nice little Rush Coil trick there, sliding in, summoning Rush Coil, skipping the E-Tank. I mean, really, that E-Tank is pretty far out of the way. If you wanted to get one, you would get one in Gemini. Now, Airman here, the problem is Tornado's blocked the spark bullets. Oh, we got a little zip here. That's something you can do when you get hit. I'm actually not quite sure how to set that up. I just know sometimes happens when you're trying to slide towards them and you get hit by his tornadoes. And then using Rush Jet here, this is actually required to use Rush Jet to get across this gap. You're going to see him again jumping off the top of the screen. He does have to be careful because, believe it or not, when you jump off the top of the screen, your hitbox wraps around to the bottom. So you can actually get hit by enemies that are very low on the screen, or you could accidentally pick up a weapon refill that's on the bottom of the screen and waste a lot of time. Great John going into Doc Flash again. This is a bit of a scary one. You just need to make sure you don't let them walk around on top of you. Yeah. Great John doing a good job of not letting them do that. That's using Snake to kill these mini bosses. Oh, nice. Send one up there to kill that Met. Just anything to reduce lag. Health refill. Oh, and Great John missed killing some of those enemies. Got a lot of lag. They get the little up hit. Oh, yeah, that's one of the neater strats. You can get it. Fatso's going into Doc Crash, and really there's Crash or Clash, I guess, depending on which version of Mega Man 2 you like to play. There's not much to talk about this boss. 4 hits with hard knuckle and you're done. Pretty forgettable. Great John choosing the E-Tank here, so he can just focus on killing Doc Bubble quickly. And Fatso going into his last one, which is Doc Spark. It can be a little bit of a tricky stage. Probably not the scariest of the 4. Usually runners will do the ones that they find the hardest first, because if there's no real reason to like pick one, you might as well get the hardest ones out of it. Oh, he fell down. He actually missed the ladybug. I don't think missing that Gemini laser will be a big deal. I've slid into that pit at the start of Doc Spark too many times. Didn't get 5 frames, I don't think. If you're sliding out of a tunnel like that, you can jump out to 5 frames. Great John going for the music respawn. It looked correct to me. That looked like you got it. There's this setup where you go against the right wall, and if you do it just right, you'll get it every single time, guaranteed. Fatso went for a faster setup that is a bit more risky. It's a sub-pixel-based thing. So going against the right wall is sub-pixel. Fatso letting Doc Metal there, by the way. And like I said, really, you just burn them down with magnet. There's not much to write home about. Okay, Spike Ball, and then you're going to see Fatso again. He's going to despawn some of these enemies. So when you see him waiting, he's actually letting enemies on the far right side of the screen despawn. This will jump, by the way. And Great John coming up in the Doc Wood. Again, the name of the game here is going to be just don't die. Make sure you get them in 2 cycles. As long as you have enough health to take some damage boost against them and get them in 2 cycles, you'll be fine. Doc Quick for Fatso. Very experienced with this. He actually waited to menu until he was in the boss room to see what the boss's pattern was. Ooh, a little bit scary. Can't take a body hit here. All right, he made it. Oh, that was a great time to mention. You see him, you kill him on the far left of the screen. It actually doesn't matter as much because you don't have to walk to the center of the screen. Quick Breakman fight, last one of the game. Oh, Great John got knocked into the parachute pit. That's really frustrating. Now, the problem with that is he also used a lot of his magnets. So we'll see what he has as a backup. There is a Rush Jet strat that you could use. Or you could just hope for drops. Using the Shadow Blade. Okay. That works as well. Anything you can do to clear these guys out so you can get a clear path works. Yeah, and there he gets across. And actually uses Shadow Blade. That worked real well. Shadow Blade works well on that guy as well. ColonelFatso actually going into Dr. Wily's castle now. Oh, he mashes those guys down. I forgot. Fatso known pretty well as a very skilled masher, which is really useful in Mega Man 3. While I always think it's a little bit overstated, you definitely want at least some mash. Taking damage, you're scared to slide spikes. Great John finishing Doc Shadow. Oh yeah. And Great John going into Doc Needle here, which is saved for last. Around that rush hit block. Okay. those Yoku blocks, disappearing blocks in that screen have a bad habit of like blocking rush jets just getting in your way. Sometimes you can end up being forced to do them the normal way because they got in your way so much. Using Shadow Blade here against the turtles. With this boss, it's RNG whether he goes left or right. You usually want to see him go right. I believe that's pretty much always faster. And there you go. So the next boss coming up is the Yellow Devil, and I think you're all familiar with that. So there's Easy Devil and there's Hard Devil. So in this game, we're going to take a bunch of damage boosts, and we're going to get inside the Devil's hitbox, and we're going to try and mash the life out of your shoot button into the Yellow Devil's eye in order to beat him in 2 cycles. So if you line it up right, you'll get 2 jumps to mash and do all, I forget how many hits, but you got to do it in 2 jumps, or he'll do a second cycle, which is a very long wait because you got to wait for him to reform. Oh, Fatso going for the coil strats here. Okay, it's just a tiny bit faster to use Rush Coil on the screen instead of Rush Jet. You'll see most people using Rush Jet because that's a very well-established strat, and it's pretty free. So here we go. Is it Easy Devil if he gets it? Hard Devil if he doesn't? Fatso, again, Noah is a pretty good masher. Shouldn't have so many troubles, but you never know when your hand can slip or something. And that would be an opportunity for greatjhon to get back into it. Oh no! Yep, he messed up the first jump there. He had a really good second jump, but it didn't actually happen for him. So that gives greatjhon, you can see all this time, he can't finish the boss. He just has to wait for the boss to finish forming for his hitbox to show up again. There you go. Easy every once in a while. Yeah. So if greatjhon, I talked about he needs something to break his way. He's going to need more than just that, and he's also going to need to, he's going to need to do Easy Devil himself. Oh, Fatso went for that slide on the Rush Jet, Coil, which is very nice, but then he missed it. Going through these rooms with grenades here. Always very laggy through this room. There's just too many enemies. greatjhon going in his Brickman fight. He's about a stage and a half behind. Like I said, he's going to need more than just Easy Devil. But if he was looking for a way, back into this race, that would be part 1. And so the slide, he's going to go to Rush Coil through these moving platforms. Nice. And now we're going to use a glitch here to hopefully defeat the clone Mega Man very quickly. So for whatever reason, they won't let you switch weapons while you have a special weapon out, but they forgot to do that for the rush weapons. So you can switch weapons while your rush bullets are out, and you can actually take the properties of the special weapons. So those special weapons did top damage, which the clone Mega Man is weak against. Very nice mash here. Those enemies, Fatso going to the refights here. Those enemies are very hard to mash down. That's making it look very easy. Especially because you're jumping and you're trying to do movement while you're doing it. So it's not like you can just grip and mash. You have to be doing other things like controlling your jump height and things while you're mashing. Going into Snake first, we're going to see him basically mop up all the bosses on the first page of the menu. Because the menu in this game has 2 pages. And then go to the second page to kill the last 2 bosses with Shadow. Unlike the first fights, you want to kill these bosses as far to the left as possible, or you want to be as far to the left as possible, because the teleporter to exit the room is on the left. You want to try and be as close to, or ideally even standing on the teleporter when you finish these bosses. Very nice so far. A little problem with Hardman there, but he gets them on the teleporter. Coming into Gemini here, only 4 left to go. And using Gemini against Gemini here is actually very effective. Do very well. Needleman here. Again, the goal is don't miss. Do not miss. Gets Needleman down. Okay. Great John going into a Wily 2. Goes the health. Does not want to wait for the health to fall from the ceiling. He's gonna fight Dr. Spark without it. After this, there's no more bosses after this. So as long as you can finish Dr. Spark, you're good. Not Dr. Spark, just Spark. All right, and that's it. He just has to slide to the teleporter and he's done. Oh, Great John almost got the V's. Fortunately, he avoided it. And now we're going to see Wily Machine, and this is going to be another match fast. And ColonelFatso actually has a bit of a specialty here where he will... Usually you shoot lag snakes to slow the game down, so you have more time to mash against the second phase of this boss. But I don't believe Fatso either shoots one or not any at all. Yeah, wow. That is such a good mash. I mean, I know you can really grip the controller and double mash, but that is still a really hard mash. Your timing and everything has to be really great. Great John here. Can he easy devil? Very good easy devil. Making up a little ground here. But again, Fatso, he's pretty much at the end of the game. The last boss is, unfortunately for speedrun, a little bit of a piece of cake. So we're going to pull out Rush Coil, take damage, and then jump on him. Oh, he didn't even take damage. Oh, he does a snake strat. Okay. And GG for Fatso, time at 34:46. Takes the first game over Great John. Very impressive showing by Fatso. I mean, 34:46, that's close to what, a minute off the TV? Yeah, just a little bit over a minute off the TV. For a guy with a TV that good, it's very, very difficult to do. Looks like we're going to see Great John finish it out here. Going into refight. Fatso getting the ending with all the cards, showing the Mega Man 1 robot and showing Proto Man at the end. It says his name is Blues, because that was his name in the Japanese version of this game. Even though I know it earlier, it says Breakman. Don't ask me. Nice block slides. Jumping over those gaps. It's a lot trickier movement than make it look. Commentary, I'm like cutting out of time. Let me turn up the volume a little bit. Hopefully that's a little bit better for you guys. I turned off my noise gate. Coming through Top Man. Good here. Like Fatso wants to practice something real quick. I think he might have been upset about the Gemini fight. Or no, Yellow Devil. Oh, okay. Almost ran out of magnet there, but managed to make it. No do us. Can't miss. The second phase of Gemini is pretty easy. The boss actually jumps when you shoot. And he does that actually even if you already have a shot on screen or not. You can kind of manipulate his movement by timing your shot. Alright, no Naduas. Yeah, just going over some of the things he missed, I think, for Fatso. I mean, I'd be pretty happy after putting up a 34 in a race today. That's why he's, got the second best time, and I don't. Let's mark here, and then we just got 2 more bosses for Great John. getting through to the end. And so with greatjhon, I imagine you're going to see him shoot the lag snake. So you're going to see him either before you have to take the damage boost. He's going to shoot 2 snakes to the left that look like they just don't do anything. But what they do is they actually lag the game. And by doing so, they give him more time, basically make it easier to mash. Like, because the game is running slower, your mash is basically better. Alright, he only shot 1. I got about half his health in. And he's just going to finish him with Shadow Blade here. There you go. So that's a backup. Usually what happens is you won't outright miss, but you'll get something where like maybe half of his, I'll have half health or I'll have a couple hits left because you didn't quite get a good enough mash to finish him completely with the snake. So what you do then is you switch to Shadow and you usually just kill him with that. Now again, greatjhon, he can't use the glitch with the rush jet that I talked about, or rush coil that I talked about, but you didn't actually see because Fatso didn't do it. So he's gonna have to use snake or a different glitch to finish the boss. See what he does here. And he's gonna switch to top. Yeah, and there you go. And GG for greatjhon. I'm a 39-39. Yeah, he did not have, probably didn't have the performance he wanted, but he still put up a pretty good time, especially for someone who, I guess, hasn't been running this game all that much since like 2017. It's pretty impressive. And I think we got to make our second race room here. Hey, greatjhon, 3 deaths and still within a minute of PB. It's a really good point. Like, probably, other than those 3 deaths, he had a really good run. And if he didn't have those 3 deaths, he might have been pushing at like a PB kind of pace. Get another race time room going here. Enjoy the nice Predaman flute music. Actually, interesting bit. If you can look this up. If you ever get the full game, like the full songs, and a lot of these songs, they don't, you don't actually get to hear them all. So this is one of the songs. It's actually a lot longer than what you get to hear. Another one is the castle, the little music that plays on like the castle screen that shows the map. That you probably only hear like half of that song. You can look them up, after this on YouTube or something, or I think you can use the second controller cheat codes to hear them. Yeah, this game is not easy. This game is not easy or all that casual to play. greatjhon, I think, said he needs just a couple minutes between runs, quick restroom break, and we'll be back. So what I'm looking for match number 2 here, basically Fatso is just do the same thing again. If you can put up another 34, obviously he wants to, put up the best time he can. If you can put up another 34, you're probably good. No big mistake. greatjhon here is just go all out. If there's anything he was holding back last time, any scratch that he's like too scary to do, just go all out. Because it's hard to beat Fatso. Hard to beat someone at that level at their game. Like, we're getting a reset here. I'll play music. Switch audio real quick. And the JP music is that the same song? I'm not sure. I haven't spent enough time on the title screen of US3. Let me see. Let me look at the bracket real quick and see what's the destination for these guys, wherever they end up. There it is. So Fatso is the 2 seed, and greatjhon is 15th seed. greatjhon coming off a round 1 victory against ZG. And ColonelFatso, I believe, got a first round bye. So, winner of this will go on to play the winner of Green Mario, and the Pot Dot. That's the 7th and 10th seeds. And loser of this, let me see where 17 goes, will go on to play Robo Ridley, the 12th seed in the losers bracket. There is a losers bracket to this. The winner of the losers bracket does feed back up into the grand final. Let's see here. And I think we're about to start here in a minute. Yep. We're gonna get started right away. Yeah, I'll be seeing you on the losers bracket pretty soon. I know who I gotta play in the second round. Yeah, one thing about this game is the top runners of this game are just incredibly consistent. I mean, if you can't put up, it's going to be hard unless you can put up like 33s and probably not 33s, but 34s in a race scenario. And I imagine we're going to see a lot of that. I'm very excited to see the final phases of this tournament. You're going to have a lot of really good players just going up against each other. Oh, all right, and we're off. All right. So again, we got split pass here. We got top for ColonelFatso. We got magnet for greatjhon. And if I can talk about anything else, just look at the little differences in movement. Especially in ColonelFatso, you can see he's like being very mindful to jump off the ledges instead of just falling off and sliding off. And the reason for that, again, is fall speed. Well, first off, when you slide in this game, you hang really far off. So you want to start, if you need to fall down, you want to start falling as soon as possible. And then, if possible, when you reach the point where you need to fall down, you want to have the maximum fall velocity possible. If you're falling faster, that means you're going to save time in the long run. This is like a bigger thing in Mega Man 1 and 2 where there's no sliding, but it's still important in this game. I'm primarily a forerunner where that basically doesn't matter. greatjhon going through the Yoku block. Again, that's this is probably the only reason that Magnet First isn't the faster route, is that you have to wait for these Yoku blocks. ColonelFatso is going to be able to just fly over top them and save a lot of time there. And waiting again, not taking that top. I don't blame him. That's just a really bad room to die on. Trying to get as many hits on his top as possible. You see, that's an intentional damage boost there that allows him to stand there and shoot through, and then slide into the center as he shoots the last shot. So that way he can finish the boss in the center. greatjhon coming through magnet again, sliding him underneath. Really nice there. Pretty close to center kill. Pretty even after one stage, actually, I gotta say. Again, If I'm greatjhon, I'm just trying to keep on his heels and basically, don't fall too far behind and wait for what hopefully a mistake to come or something like that that you can take advantage of. So Fatso going into Shadow, greatjhon going into Hardman. We're going to see greatjhon using the magnet to defeat the bees. Again, we don't want those bees to spawn. That's really bad for us. Fatso with another... Actually, Proto Man got away from him a little bit there. I mean, it's still not bad, but his skill last time was much closer to the wall. This long room is so fun. Oh, he fell down. And greatjhon, I think he's going to be dodging these apes. I imagine Fatso is going to try and mash them down. You can see how much just them jumping around causes so much lag. And now time for Parasus. The scary thing about these guys is actually they're dropped. If they drop weapon energy, it freezes the game for a second. And it can be very scary because you're trying to time your jump just to the right height, but it can easily mess you up. Ooh, Gentleman giving him a slide pattern there. It was kind of unfortunate. You kind of want a pattern where he just jumps around aimlessly. When he slides at you, it kind of puts you in an awkward spot because he's inside your hitbox. And if you use top spin like that, it can actually just drain all your weapon energy, and then you have to finish him with Buster, and it's slow. greatjhon. Oh, nice jumping over Proto Man there. Grabbing the health real quick. A little bit of safety. Fatso going into Gemini, and again, this is another kind of scary stage. A lot of the scary stuff is front-loaded in Top Man. This, again, used to be like the speed stage. Like, if you were doing world record attempts, you always did Gemini first. I wonder, I forget what year that changed. It's probably like 2015, something like that. Oh, so what happened there, I think, is he meant to slide and he accidentally jumped, and he jumped right into the pit. Not too bad of a death because it's still screen 1. That health heal seemed unnecessary. Probably, when the fight goes right, it's definitely not necessary. What Fatso was trying to do there, so in this game, unlike some of the later Mega Man games, if you try to slide again while you're already sliding, you just jump. In the later Mega Man games, it doesn't actually work that way. If you hit slide again while you're already sliding, just nothing happens. But in this game, you actually get a jump. And what I'm guessing happened is he hit slide a little too early and ended up getting a jump where he didn't mean to get a jump. And that can easily just tie your hand in a knot, trying to figure out what's going on and what you need to do. And yeah, that's how you end up in the pit. Again, you can see Fatso was releasing some of those tadpoles because you can only have 3 on screen at a time. So by releasing some random ones, the ones that he actually has to burn a path through don't release anything. Makes him, a little more efficient with his buster shots. They also don't give as many drops. 1 block slides here. Again, no music. The Proto Man skip does that, and it reduces lag. The scary thing about these, remember, they all have to be at least 8 frames long. If you hit jump before 8 frames, nothing happens, and you slide into the pit. And actually, there's variable amounts of lag through that room. So every single slide, real time, is a very slightly different amount of time, depending on, just how much lag there is at the moment. Did he take it safe there on that big guy? Just because he has such low health? Again, I don't blame him. You want to avoid the big mistake. And there you go. Good Gemini kill. greatjhon using hard knuckle there. It only takes 4 hits to beat Top Man. And yeah, they feel pretty close coming out of this. I mean, you can see they're both in weapon yet. And I believe they're going into their 4th stage each, right? Yeah, we're going to see greatjhon going into Shadow. So he's staying on the heels, waiting for something to go wrong. This Fatso's run. Now I believe greatjhon took a death here the first time, so he's going to be careful. Hopefully he doesn't get in his head too much. Brickman fight, or sorry, Frodo-Man fight, whatever his name is, here for greatjhon. Fatso, I know it kind of looks silly, but you just slide around and wait for these needles to be done, because there's so many of them. I don't think you have the health needed to boost through them all. You just kind of wait for them to be over. I love that strat, because you use like the one Gemini to kill the porcupine, and then you use another one to kill the needle that's coming at you so you don't get knocked off the cliff. Deboosting to the big guy. Again, the trick here is going to be no Naduas, no missed lasers. We need 4 hits. There you go, that's good. greatjhon using magnet. Good. Yeah, key thing there is just don't get too in your head. Don't try and make your slides too nice and sharp and perfect, because weapon drops can and will mess you up really badly if you don't see them coming. And get that silly little slide that Shadow Man does and just puts them in a really awkward spot. greatjhon not that far behind, keeping it real close. That's going into magnet. And again, we're going to see him make up a lot of time here because... Oh, nice little slide on that bottom platform there, by the way. We're going to see him make up a lot of time simply because he's going to use Rush Jet to fly over the Yoki block. He doesn't have to wait. greatjhon going into Gemini, so this is kind of like, another scary stretch for him. Fatso already got through the scariness. And again, Fatso died in this stage, so... he really just needs to not make a big mistake here. Keep that advantage. And yeah, interesting. greatjhon doesn't switch the bus magnet here because he has magnet. And my guess is just that he's used to the Gemini first screen, and he doesn't want to change his strat. Using Rush Jet, just a little boost there. Don't have to ride on the or climb the ladder as long. Makes it a lot faster. Didn't get the zip. It's okay. It's not that much of a time save. Four hits for ColonelFatso. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good center kill. greatjhon coming up on the scary section of the stage. Waited a second for the dragonfly to clear out. Grabbing the extra health, and that's reasonable. I said this before, that's reasonable. And then gonna just basically, mostly I think walk through. He might slide on some of the larger ones here. Nope, not even going for that. Fatso going into Snake, and you can see his lead is starting to extend just a little bit. He's just burning through the stages ever so slightly faster. Switching to Magnet here. I find the Magnet strats here so interesting. Because the Rush Jet strats feel so free. By the way, those 2 shots in the ladder from greatjhon are buffer. They just line up your jump there nicer. But yeah, Magnet just removes so much lag because you can just burn your way through everything on the screen. And oh, okay, good. Made a little close for greatjhon, but still made it through Gemini in 1 life. Fatso coming up here, going to try for a snake sip again. So we're going to see him try and go up basically against the snake and kind of wiggle while sliding. Yep. Don't ask me how that's done. I just know you need to push up against the snake and kind of like wiggle back and forth while sliding. greatjhon going into Needleman, and maybe about a half a stage behind. That's jumping off the top of this screen to kind of conserve ammo, and very nice timing, by the way. He like landed just in the right spot on that platform, so he could get a slide in. Both conserve rush and ammo and use lag. Very good snake kill. Kill him right in the center. Fell a little bit behind there. It's scary because you don't want to take another needle cycle there. And honestly, if you're using magnet threats against that Porcupine, it's better just to damage boost them. Fatso going into hard man, you're going to see him use Shadow here. It's I always find it just so nice. The fact that you have multiple viable, like reasonably good routes. And it's not like some of the other games, like in Mega Man 4. The difference between the safe route and the not safe route is the first 2 stages. Then the rest of the run is the same. There's really like a great variety of different approaches, different rooms, and things that you can go for. It's because in Mega Man 4, the first 2 weapons you get are overpowered, and then nothing else matters. I smashed down the 1 ape, so we only have 1 jumping ape, and you can see the game just runs so much faster, and you only have 1 of them on screen. Nice little damage boost while summoning Rush Coil. Not switching off of Rush. It makes it a little harder. Oh, it probably lost time on it. It makes it a little harder because you can only have 2 lemons on screen when you're using Rush Coil or Rush Jet or anything, as opposed to the 3 you can usually have when you're using a Buster. I'm gonna use Shadow here to mash down Brickman. greatjhon doing a good job of using, again, clearing out all these enemies. Anything you can do to get enemies off the screen, reduce lag. And hard man fight for Fatso. Very nice. Very nice. So that looks extremely scary, but as long as you do it right, it's fine with the 1 health. I mean, he knew he would have exactly 1 health left as long as he did the fight right. Yeah, actually not all that far behind. I don't think his clock was all that red for all that long. I could be wrong there. It didn't look like it to me. 1 HP in a dream. Going into Sparkman. Last stage for Fatso. greatjhon still only about half a stage behind. I mean, not an insurmountable gap. Switch the magnet there. The tracking on those magnet weapons is really tricky. Snake Man fight for greatjhon, by the way. But getting good tracking on those Snake Man weapons is really important. greatjhon almost had an incredible fight, and he just got hit at the last second. Fatso coming down here. Again, you're going to see him use magnet to break one of these blocks. And the whole reason is just because they count as enemies, and removing them from the game makes it run faster. It's something they changed when programming this game as opposed to Mega Man 2. And Mega Man 2, 1 and 2, you have flicker when there's lag. So, I mean, there's still lag, but you don't feel it the way you feel the slowdown in the later Mega Man games. Alright, and Fatso at the boss, but greatjhon is in Spark, so he's not even like a full stage behind. 8 robots time for Fatso. $17.02. greatjhon jumping through the electric barriers. Yeah, he's still about half a stage behind. And we're going into the Doc robots again. And this is when things start to get scary again. Like, none of these stages are easy, but especially Doc Gemini. I feel like Doc Gemini and Doc Shadow, or Nightmares in particular. I mean, none of them are easy as well from a speedrunning perspective. Like, if you're trying to maximize movement and things like that, they're all a little bit scary. And it's got to be going through Fatso's head that he died, in Gemini original. Just got to make sure that he doesn't make any similar mistakes in this stage. No jinx. No jinx. Gets through that fine. Honestly, that might be the scariest part of the stage right there. Again, releasing 3 tadpoles early so that he can just basically go on straight on through without having to fight any more tadpoles. Nice little hop there. That hop looks real tricky. It's not that scary, but you actually have to break the tadpole thing on the way down, and that gives you enough time to jump and land and jump again before the tadpole forms and hits you off the block. Doc Flash, Fatso. Good fight. Again, the main thing with that is you don't let Doc Flash stand on top of you. greatjhon going into Doc Robots. So I missed his 8 robots time. It's only about a minute behind. Again, not an insurmountable gap. Probably you're feeling pretty good if you're only this far behind the second seed in the tournament. I haven't been looking too much at his clock, but I always have to wonder if he's on like a PB-ish kind of pace. That's like in the end. I messed up that room. He actually had to wait for the ladybug. Not like a huge deal, but just goes to show the movement. Something went wrong with the movement there. And Doc Bubble for Fatso. Again, these Doc stages, it doesn't matter what order you go in. So you can see greatjhon, he's in Doc Park. Doesn't matter. You don't get anything from doing these stages. So you can just tackle them in whatever order you prefer. Most runners like to do the one that they find the most difficult first. So there's like a big reset point. Obviously, you want to do that before you waste your time with another few minutes of other stuff. Around 1 minute, 18 seconds ahead. Thank you. Going for the music despawn here. He gets it this time. Okay, so he's going to save some time here on the music despawn, both in lag, and also it's going to make his movement easier. Having the music playing just makes things ever so slightly different, and it can mess up your timings because there's additional lag. Don't ask me why the music creates lag. It's a question for the ages. And sliding through in the dark here. It's always scary because you can never quite see where the edge there is. I mean, a runner like Fatso knows exactly where it is. But, greatjhon coming up against Doc Quick. The name of the game is Don't Die. Try not to take body shots. Get hit by the boomerangs. Good fight. Good fight. He actually, that was very good. A lot of uptime on his iframes. Obviously if you're killing a boss, since there's iframes, they're invincible for a little bit. You want to try and make sure you get as many hits in as possible. Fatso, very good Doc Wood fight. I think it was the best possible cycle. The magnet here. Because he switched to magnet, I think he needs a small drop. Oh! So that hurts. Fortunately, it's not that bad, but he doesn't have magnet now. So he's going to have to figure out another way to do this. I don't know what his backup is, actually. Yeah, that's very understandable, and more than likely... Gemini? Okay. Not what I would have guessed. Oh. Okay. Well, if you're greatjhon, remember what I said. You're just waiting for Fatso to make a mistake. At this point, I don't know what his backup to his backup is. I'm be curious if he has him on top. Okay. Top's pretty reasonable. And then at this point, you're just kind of making it... Yeah. Just take your time. Don't take another death. I don't know how many 1-ups he has. He's probably gotten at least one at some point. But, yeah, just make it across. Doesn't matter. Just make it across. And then just do things normal from here. And that is the end of... So this is the last boss of the second dock stage for ColonelFatso. Good double. So if you're very particular, if you hit Doc Heat on the very first frame that he's vulnerable... Wow, greatjhon going for the... Okay. That iframe thing is very scary. But he made it work. He had to do a jump, but it was alright. He still probably saved a lot of time there. 4 lives. Okay. So Fatso's got plenty of lives. Yeah, you just want to make sure you don't game over. That's the big thing. If you game over in a dock stage, especially near the end, that's extremely painful because you have to go all the way back to the start. It's just not something you want to see. greatjhon going up against Dock Bubble. So Fatso still is slightly in the lead, but only about by half a dock stage, which is not that much. Switching to Gemini there. Notice he used the Rush Lemon to do a little bit of extra damage as well. Pretty good dock air fight. greatjhon going for the music despawn. That looks like it. He should have gotten the music despawn. Running through the stage. So again, despawning the music just helps you... lets you basically... reduces lag, and it makes things more consistent because there's less lag, so like there's less a chance of an input getting eaten or something like that. greatjhon taking along the bottom path here, not making the call here. There's a rush jet strat here that I'm particularly fond of. As you can see, this part is a little bit scary. Switching the needle. Fatso using Snake to make short work of the metal mini bosses. These guys are Mets for short, or Metals. greatjhon going into Dock. Ooh, Fatso just gotta be careful on health. There's a full health refill here. Don't get a hit. Just make sure you don't do anything silly against Dock. Crash, Clash, and you'll be good. I appreciate the love. Alright. Up. Okay. There we go. greatjhon using Magnet, and just taking a walk here, and that's entirely reasonable. You can see the drops here. They just mess up your movement so bad. It's so easy to fall on a pit or miss a jump or something just because something dropped. You know, you got a weapon refill at the time you were trying to press jump, and so the input never went through. It came with the last minute switch to Gemini. Five frames? 5 frames. Nice. You can see you got a little jump out of that tunnel. It's called 5 frames because you have 5 frames to jump. greatjhon getting through Dock Heat. Fatso coming up on Dock Metal again. greatjhon is still hanging around about like half the stage, half a dock stage behind. It's not all that much. Using Gemini strat here, it's entirely reasonable. Unless you have very good mashing, which Fatso happens to have. But, you know, Gemini is probably faster. I know a big thing with serious runners of this game is actually like making sure you have rest time, taking time to rest your arms between attempts. You'll see Fatso stopping here to let enemies on the far right despawn. So that they don't lag up the game or get in the way. Actually, in that case, it's more because they're kind of in the way. Just letting them despawn helps a lot. greatjhon going into Dock Air. Fatso coming up into Dock Quick. Again, the name of the game is don't take body shots. If you gotta get hit by the boomerang. They only do 4 damage. Well, using Gemini to fight him. I didn't notice that the first time. That was a little bit scary. I'm not gonna lie. That was a little bit scary there. I'm sure Fatso wasn't worried, but I was a little bit. I'm more used to the snake fight there. Going into Breakman. Nice jump up. I'm not sure how many frames you had to do that jump. It was pretty tight. And then doing a menu actually to skip the animation out. So we have Fatso going into castles. And again, greatjhon is just looking to hang tight. So just hang in the background. You're not that far behind. Obviously, you're not going to beat someone as good as Fatso if they put up like a 34 or something kind of time. But if you catch them on a bad day, making some mistakes, you can capitalize. Can't die though. Gotta make sure you keep that health. See Fatso mashing these guys down. No E-tank for Fatso, believe it or not. Oh, okay. That is very tricky. There's a very tricky slide and damage boost coming up. And he probably caught himself thinking a little far ahead there. Fortunately, it's not all that bad of a death. But again, greatjhon's just kind of hanging on in the background, waiting for his opportunity. He just finished Doc Air, and Doc Flash. And I believe that is all the docs for greatjhon. So he's going into Breakman. Who decided he's Breakman? I'm just so confused. The card at the end definitely says blues. All right, Fatso coming through to the Kame. I believe its name is Kamigoro Maker, Turtle Maker, basically. Kami being Japanese turtle. Who is Breakman? No one will ever know. I mean, he's got the shades. I think that was right to start. Left, right. Again, right is faster. Pretty good pattern here. A really good pattern here for Fatso. I think that was one left and all the other ones are right. And okay, so it's got to be in the back of his mind. You can see him. Fatso missed Easy Devil on the first run, and you could see him practicing it in the break between these runs. So, I mean, for a runner like Fatso, he's known to be a very skilled masher. It shouldn't be a problem, unless he gets in his head about it. So again, Easy Devil, if he gets it in 2 jumps in 1 cycle. Hard Devil, if he gets another cycle. He's gonna line up a very particular damage boost here. The boss actually doesn't have hitboxes until it's almost done forming. So you can kind of just chill inside of him. He's gonna slide forward at a particular time, line up damage boost. That's pretty good. Okay, Easy Devil. All right, redemption for last time for Fatso. It's kind of unfortunate for greatjhon if you were cheering for a greatjhon comeback, because that last time greatjhon unfortunately was further behind, but greatjhon got Easy Devil and Fatso did not, and that allowed him to make up some time against Fatso. That was another screen Fatso was messing up, was that nice little slide to get between those bullets. Every time I watch Fatso play, I learn something new, like that little wiggle there to make sure he kills those grenades without having to slow down. Every time I watch him play, I learn a little something new that I didn't know. Not the bees. Okay, he despawns 2 of them, and he's, I think, just going to shoot the other one. There you go. Having the 1 bee on the screen is not too bad. You just don't want to have a whole bunch of bees on the screen. Fatso going into the clone Mega Mans. And again, he's going to use a glitch, shoot 2 lemons, switch to top. Now the lemons do top damage for some reason, and I guess because they forgot to make it so you couldn't switch weapons when you have fresh lemons out. and that makes quick work of that boss. You can just use top on him. Actually, one thing I forgot to mention is that they always go to the top at first, the top level. Oh, easy devil. Good jump. Oh, one short. That's heartbreaking. It's going to make it very tough for greatjhon to come back at this point. He's going to, well, Fatso is taking a good amount of damage there. He's basically going to need some sort of tragedy to happen for Fatso in order to make a comeback there. It's not impossible, but that is like a 20-second loss. Fatso going into refight. And just need to not run out of health. Actually, you can see he grabbed the HP from Snake Man. Fortunately, also need to not run out of top, I guess. Well, actually, no, it doesn't matter because he doesn't use top against Wily. Never mind. Hard man, 4 hits, get 2 in there. And then just be sliding into him. So as you kill him, you slide into the health and through to the teleporter. I guess he doesn't really need the health. Nice kill, standing right on the teleporter. That's exactly how you want to do it. The boss death creates a lot of lag. Ooh, okay. I was wondering what that was. All right. That must be a strat I'm not aware of. Only 3 to go for Fatso. No Naduas. No big mistakes. Okay. Just 2 with Shadow now. greatjhon going into refight. I missed how his clones went. But it looks like it went pretty smooth for him. He's already in there. 1 more for Fatso. And unfortunately, at this point, once you're through refight, the chances, like the big chances for time saves are pretty slim. There is some time to save against Wily Machine if Fatso doesn't get a clean kill, but we saw what he did last time. He didn't even shoot any snake, so to slow it down. So he's gotta just mash down the first one. And then... Oh, a little bit slow there. That might throw some of his timing off. Oh, he still gets in a 1 jump. Okay. The boss's pattern actually depends on, like, continues from the first phase. So if you kill him at a weird time, it can mess up your timing on the jump. But Fatso nailed it. Yeah, no lag snakes for Fatso. Very impressive. And again, we're going to see him use Snake 1 more time to mash down Wily. And as long as nothing tragic happens, it should be pretty free. You do have to make sure you don't get punched by Gamma. But that should never happen as long as he does it right. Switch to coil, dodge this shot, unless you're taking a boost. And good game, Fatso. 35:49 time for Fatso. I'm curious to see. greatjhon's on a pretty awesome pace. Keep in mind his time is, I think, a 38:50 or something. Yeah, winning the race is now out of the question, but it might not be impossible to PB for him. GG's in chat for Fatso. And I mean, that's the breaks when you go up against the guy with the second best time. Allow me to switch over audio to greatjhon. So greatjhon's PB. Let me look it up. I had it up. What is greatjhon's PB? It's 38:44. 38:44 for greatjhon. I think that's pretty doable here. He just finished refights. He's got the 2 shortest stages in the game to go. I'm up on Wily Machine. Clowning around. But I mash this down. Lag snake here. Oh, yeah, shit one. Oh, really nice kill. He got it in one jump with only one lag snake. That's pretty nice. Fake out Wiley. Yeah, accidental lag snake, I see. And yeah, he's just got to get the last hit here. Keep in mind, he's playing on the US version, so he can't do the strat where you top spin directly into Wiley. He's got to go to the left side, coil up, and then shoot lemons, and then switch top. You don't want to go to the right side, because that's where Gamma punches from. You don't want to do that. Nice! That is a big PB. That's almost a 40-second PB for greatjhon. So while he doesn't get the win, he does get a pretty nice consolation prize there. In fact, I think he just bopped my PB. I had pushed him down on a ladder, so I think he just got his revenge on me. Seeing it live in person. Found you lying here when you arrived. Nice. Let's see about a post-game interview here. Give me 1 second. I'm going to manage the bajillion tabs I have open. I have... Let's see. Do I have them already in here? Oh, they're already in here. Okay, very nice. Trying to figure out a lot of things that I didn't need to figure out. We're joined by ColonelFatso here.
Hello. What's up?
What's up? What's up? How was your race? And here's greatjhon. greatjhon, can you hear me? Okay, he must be still getting his microphone together. All right. How do you feel, Fatso? You just got the second round win.
Well, I wish I could say I felt great about it, but that second run was something else. Not
Yeah, you kept it close actually. Did you know what kind of pace greatjhon was on?
Yeah, I tend to watch the races while I'm playing to get an idea of like what's a safe thing to do and what's not. And so I had a pretty good idea of the relative paces throughout the runs.
Yeah, I was. Here's greatjhon. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Hey. Yes.
So how do you feel, greatjhon?
Oh man, that was a really amazing run.
Yeah, you. So unfortunately, you didn't win the race, but you got a pretty good consolation prize.
You know, I tried. I really tried.
greatjhon got the more important prize, to be perfectly honest. PB is more important than a race win every time.
I gotta ask. I looked on the leaderboard and I saw your last PB was in 2017. Have you really not touched the game since 2017?
That's basically true. Yeah, I've been like off and on. I never really was trying for a better time. It was just kind of like, yeah, I'll derust every once in a while. But
nice.
My last PB was the last race. So, but that was only like a couple seconds, and I was like, oh man, I can do way better than that.
Yeah. So that's really great. That's a 5-year PB in the making. And it seems like you still have more on the table as well. 37 shouldn't be too hard from here.
That easy devil. If
only you got the devil.
Yeah.
Did you know how close you were to Fatso?
I didn't, other than I just kind of scan, like, I know how slow I am, and if I'm like in refights, I'm kind of
Gotcha.
watching the race room, because it's like, yeah, I'd probably finish somewhere around here. But I was a little surprised to see it wasn't another 34, so I was like, oh,
Yeah.
a little closer.
Yeah. in the immediate moments in which I lost to 34, I was pretty surprised too. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a really interesting talk shadow. I like
Oh yeah.
messed up. I messed up in a way that like I have been messing up in practice, which was obnoxious. But then like I died doing the backup as well, and then I'm like, wow, I'm out of ammo. What am I gonna do next? So I'm just like, I guess I'll just pick top spin and be very slow.
Yeah.
That was my first run. but
I'm
I love
guaranteed
those-
not to die this time.
I love those diagonal shadows. They're so dangerous. But it was like, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm out of magnet. What do I do, guys?
Yeah, you were right on Fatso's tail through most of docks, and I think even going into the last dock stage, I think you were only about half a stage behind.
Wow. Yeah. Would
So
not have guessed it was that close.
I wasn't really sure whether you were going to be like you were within striking range. If Fatso made like another big mistake, I was like, well, maybe greatjhon can pull out a win. But it would have taken something big from there. And then obviously, like, I think missing Easy Devil kind of sealed it.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, like I said, Fatso was going to have to bless me with like a bunch of deaths, and I would have to get like a perfect run, and I didn't quite get that. So.
Yeah, but you played real well. Anything else you guys want to say on the way out? I think Fatso, who do you have to play? You got to play the winner of Green
I'm
Mario
awaiting the
and
winner
Potbot.
Yeah.
And greatjhon, you got to play Robo Ridley in the losers bracket.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, that'll be fun. Anything else you want to say before we head out?
Oh, great. Great game, Fatso. Also, thank you for the comms, Sage.
Yeah, anytime. It was a lot of fun. It was an exciting one. All right, let's see when our next race is real quick. We got one on November 15th, Kyle Precise versus Cassio Third at 5 p.m. Eastern, and we got one on the 19th, 2 p.m. Madu versus Mushroom Boy. And we got some more probably they're gonna crop up as scheduled between then. So looking forward to seeing you all there, and have a great day, everyone. Thanks for watching.
Right. Cheers. GG, greatjhon. Congrats again on the PBE.
Thank you.